everybody, and welcome to Snow Day Yoga. Do you want to help me?
I've never heard someone so enthusiastic about Snow Day Yoga.
I don't know what to do. Yeah, I could probably use that. Hey everybody, so I just spent about an hour outside shoveling my driveway and I didn't get much done at all. But while I was doing it, I was thinking about this past weekend's anatomy class in my yoga training. And so I wanted to share a little bit of knowledge I've learned. And since it's I don't know, what, Deandra, 60, how many times has it snowed this year? It's like 60, 65, 66, 67, I don't know, something in the 60s, they said on the news the other day. It snowed like a lot of times this year. And so we've done a lot of shoveling. And it's different when you're in an environment where it snows all the time and your body may be conditioned for either shoveling or you probably have a snow blower, which would be a good investment. And we have one, I don't know how to use it, so I was out there shoveling. And I was thinking about the muscles that were activating my body, and I know a lot of people get some really bad lower back pain after shoveling. So I wanted to explain some of the reasons why it happens and what you can do to help relieve that pain after shoveling or when you know it's time to stop. As I was just telling to my sister, when she was out shoveling, once you feel your kind of all the muscle activation and a little bit of pain moving all the way into your lower back, instead of where it should be all around your core. When it moves into your lower back, it's really time to stop because you're straining things that you don't want to strain. It's not like a great lower back exercise. You're actually starting to do some damage. And so I want to talk about why. You might be able to see here, I have my skeleton, so I'm going to bring you over to that. We're going to look at a few things. So this is the pelvis. As you can see in here, there is a little seam on the actual skeleton. This bone in here, let's go to the back so you can see it as well. This is the sacrum. This is where it attaches your two hip bones. Your hip bone is not one bone, it's actually two bones separate that are connected at the back by the sacrum and at the front by just a little bit of cartilage in between. So it's actually two bones. So you can see this seam in here. On our body, it's attached by a bunch of tendons and not actually like it is a kind of bone on bone. So it's very similar, as my anatomy teacher explained, it's very similar to how the knee is, where it's just two bones that sit on top of each other. It's not an actual hinge joint like you would see in the elbow where it's all really interlocked. Sorry, my videography sucks here. But yeah, so it's just two bones that sit on top of each other. So it's really wide at the front here. And then if I wish I could do see-through, and then it comes through and it's very narrow at the bottom. And you can see into there a little bit. Just kind of giving you a whole tour of the hip bone. So what this sacrum does is it's meant to go in a motion forward where it's wider and it doesn't go back too far. The problem happens when we do a motion that is not straightforward and back, but when we start to twist. So this hip is going to move back, this one moves forward, we're doing those shoveling motions. So there's the hip. Now that you've seen it, I'm going to come back here. So now that you've seen the hip, I'm just going to kind of explain it on myself. So if you're doing a shoveling motion, right now, my hip bones, they're right here. I'm going to shovel. So I've got this one moving forward, this one moving back, and all of a sudden, my sacrum is trying to do two different things, and so it's cranking in there. And that bone is just attached in the center there, again, like I said, by just some tendons, or ligaments, or whatever. I'm kind of a novice at this right now. Whatever, it's definitely not, bones holding bones together. It's just It's some tissues that get really easily aggravated. And so we want to make sure we're really supporting that. When your hips are shifting like that, we want to avoid that opposite motion as much as possible. And so in order to do that, we want to strengthen our core. Now, core doesn't just mean your, six-pack of abs is this little chain of muscle that goes down the front here. We actually want to work everything around. So at the front, you've got your six-pack muscle, your your rectus abdominis, and at the back, you have a long chain of muscles that runs down your spine. But the most important part is actually we have muscles that run around the sides. So ideally, I'm going to bring it back to shoveling snow now. Ideally, when you're shoveling snow, you're going to feel almost like a wrapping motion around your ribs and your side. When you feel it in there, that's your muscles working. When it starts to transfer to your lower back, not good. So I'm going to advise you to, once you get home and you start shoveling today, stop, take a break once you start to feel it in your lower back. One of the best exercises I know for relieving that pain once it starts is laying on the floor on your back. Deandra, can you just make sure that the floor can actually be seen when I lay back here? Is it kind of down to there?
There you go.
Okay. So you're gonna lay on your back, just relax. For me, I have a pretty strong lower back, so I get a little bit of a curve. But what we want to do is actually force the curve of your back onto the floor. So tip your hips up a bit. And it's just a simple breathing exercise where you're going to activate your muscles a bit. And this is going to put your sacrum back in place and realign everything after doing all those sideways twisting motions. So you're going to, just relax, have your knees bent. It's going to really help support, especially if you're prone to lower back pain. And then you're going to exhale. And what I'm doing is flattening out the arch of my lumbar spine as I'm exhaling. I am also tipping my hips up a bit at the front. And so I'm really flat all along my back. I'm taking the curve out of my lower back, and I'm using my out breath to flex all my muscles, and I'm going to imagine my belly button going right towards my spine. So, and then inhale and just relax, and then exhale, and using everything to really press into the floor. So you're going to, again, activate all those muscles, press into the floor. Try to keep your head relaxed as much as possible. I'm coming up a little bit here, but I'm really trying to remember to keep my upper back, and it's all in here. And so it's almost just a tip of your hips, letting the bottom of your hips, the top of your hips is going back into the floor, and your tailbone's coming up a little bit. And so it's all pressing your lower back into the floor. And so you're going to do that really long exhale and inhale. Try for 20 or 30 times. Take a break. After that, you can pull your knees into your chest, rock side to side. When you come up, you can either roll to your side and then push up with your hands, or you can rock and roll and then roll up like that. So give that a try when you feel a bit of strain in your lower back. And if you guys would like to see some exercises for strengthening those areas so that you can prevent that pain happening at all, then give this video a like, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Thanks, bye.